What's up YouTube, Jeff back again from Dope Tech Daily, and today, finally a new video on the channel. Really sorry I've been gone for the last couple months. I've been so busy with my day job at the university, teaching, research, all that kind of stuff that goes on in the life of a professor. It's been very busy for the first couple months of fall 2018, but I'm back making Android videos, and I think today you guys are going to like the video I have for you. Today I'm going to give you a little mini review of Android Pie running on the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Now before I get into this tutorial on how to install it and a little overview was written up by my friend Max Weinbach from XDA. He does lots of great coverage on Samsung devices, firmware, all that kind of stuff. So I want to give him credit, and I will link that in the description below. If you guys are interested in a video tutorial on how to actually do this on the Snapdragon version of the Note 9, I can certainly try to do that as well. Just let me know in the comments. So before we get started, I'll go ahead and show you that I am in fact running Android 9 based on Samsung Experience version 10.0 on the Galaxy Note 9. As you can see right there, all of the pertinent details. There's a lot of UI changes on this particular build, and I want to talk about some of them. So starting here on the lock screen, you guys sort of saw one of the big changes with the always-on display, but you can see right here, the notifications have an all-new look. They're more transparent, very different look from before. You've got a new look for the lock screen clock right there. You can see the date fully written out. At the bottom, the shortcuts, they also appear differently. No more icons. You've got a line that says phone. There's one that says camera right there. No new icons there that are blatantly, I think it looks a little cleaner there. Let me show you guys what the always-on display looks like. You saw that at the very beginning of the video. Personally, I think this is one of the nicest, cleanest changes to the new UI in Samsung Experience 10. You got your battery percentage, the time, the date. You've got all of your icons for your recent notifications there as well. I think it looks a lot nicer, a lot cleaner than the old version of always-on display personally. So I like the changes on the lock screen, the always-on display. Some of the changes that they've made to the quick settings and the overall settings menu, though, I'm not sure that I'm such a huge fan of. I'll show you guys what I mean here. You can see the notifications still have that same sort of look when you swipe down from the quick settings. All of them right there, kind of transparent. They are a little dark right now because I have on night mode, and I'll actually show you where that is as well in the settings in a second. If you swipe down like this, you see a full sort of overview of the quick settings. You can still swipe between them. They are paginated. You've got the full time and date there, which does look kind of clean. My main problem is when you go into the main settings menu, you can see how the settings are now broken up in this card-like interface, kind of like how Google tries to do with Google Now / Google Assistant cards. It very much looks that way. Now you can turn off the night mode that's inside display right here. The night theme, I had that on. If you turn it off, you're going to get this really bright white on black contrast in the settings. And you can also see what that kind of looks like here as well. Doesn't really change much with the quick settings, but only changes things inside the main settings menu. So you get really deep contrast between white and black. Personally, if it were me on this particular build, I would probably just run the night theme all the time because I think the night theme is a lot more viewable. It's easier on the eyes. Even if it's not nighttime, I think it's still a good idea probably to leave that on. So obviously a huge departure from the old UI that we had in the previous version of Samsung Experience. If Samsung's going to go with this, I think there's going to be a little pushback from some of their fans because it is a lot different in terms of the overall UI. Now you also have some navigation gestures built in here. There's actually an option in the system UI to switch on navigation gestures if you would like to. So if you go here into display and go down to navigation bar, you can see here full screen gestures, which allows you to swipe up from the left, center, or right to go back, home, or recents. But this doesn't actually work. So I tried turning this on, and you can see if you swipe up here, there's where the line's supposed to be. It doesn't work. Now the one for recents does seem to work. So you can see there, if I swipe up here on the right side, it does take me into the recent apps menu, but the home one doesn't work. So it's pretty much useless on this particular build. So obviously Samsung is planning something with gestures. They've also built gestures into the navigation buttons themselves if you choose to leave the buttons on. This is kind of similar to what Google is doing on the Pixel devices. In Android Pie, you can swipe left to right to switch between apps. And you can see that the recent apps menu swiping is very similar to the Pixel as well. You can just release to go into one of the apps, very much like the original build of Android Pie on the Pixel. So obviously Samsung is trying to do some gesture stuff. I would assume the full screen gestures will be built out fully in the next version or maybe a future version. Obviously Android Pie probably not going to come to the stable build for the Note 9, the S9 until probably February or March next year. So they probably got 4 or 5 months to work on that, but there's clear that they've got a lot of gestures in the pipeline, and there's already some there. You can easily swipe and get in there. Now also when you're in the Recents menu, if you tap on the Recents menu, you'll notice, as you saw, it's now horizontal. You also get some recently used apps here at the bottom, and again you can also swipe. Once you're in the Recents menu, you can swipe along the home button, back button, Recents to launch into any app that you want. So a lot of changes in terms of the UI. Last year Samsung changed a lot of small things like the clock, folder colors, clock styles and colors. They changed the keyboard last year. This year they're definitely making more sweeping UI changes on the Note 9 and also on the S9, the S9 Plus. And whether or not you like that, of course, is going to depend on your personal taste. So far, I'm not completely turned off by it. I've been running this for about a day now. Hasn't really bothered me too much. Obviously, it goes without saying that this is a beta build, so there's a lot of small features that are broken. Fingerprint doesn't work for Samsung Pay. Neither does Intelligent Scan or iris scanning for Samsung Pay. Lots of things are broken on the device, so if you're going to use the Note 9 as your primary phone, I definitely wouldn't recommend installing it just yet. This build is probably a couple of months away from actually being fully ready. There's also some new icons that have been changed. You'll notice the Samsung Messages icon in particular has been overhauled completely right there. Also, if you go in there now, it's an all black interface, which I think kind of looks clean. They're definitely going for a high contrast theme this year on Android Pie with all these UI overhauls. A couple of other Samsung apps that have been overhauled, like email with a new icon. I don't really use the Samsung email client, so I didn't really dig too much into it, but it is detailed over at XDA as well if you want to check it out. And the buttons along the bottom themselves are different, especially the Recents button, which you can see has got 3 lines now. Definitely a new look from what we're used to seeing with the old version of Samsung Experience UI. So anyway, those are some overall changes, some of the big changes that I've noticed so far. I'll do an update video if I see anything drastically new. Of course, as new betas come out, I'll also do some reviews of those betas. There'll probably be an official one eventually. There'll be a bunch of betas between now and then. So definitely stay tuned to the channel for more Samsung coverage. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification icon as well so you can get future videos like this. I hope you guys are glad that I'm back to making videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.